welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your humble Game Master, Tom, and this is Adventure 14. Glad to have you here. We're coming to you on twitch.tv/IngloriousBards. You can come watch the live show every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can also catch up on the videos posted Thursdays on our YouTube channel, as well as listen to us on any of your favorite podcast players. You can just check out our website, ingloriousbards.com. We are excited to get going tonight, and without further ado, we will have a recap of what happened, an extensive recap of what happened last session by Jeremy.
Well, to start with, Brenrose was in the Temple of Solene and was in heavy negotiations with the High Priest, who was trying to get him to denounce the wolves. When Brenrose said no thank you, he was thoroughly attacked and defended by none other than the goddess herself, which was amazing. After that, it was determined that the bards needed to get the heck out of Mirskan again, and on our way doing so, we instead found Meyer. Our Meyer pins went off again, and we went on a glorious shopping spree. Well, almost all of us. Brenrose was bought in his way into it, got his very own Meyer pin, and did nothing with it whatsoever, which was super fine. And then, on our way out, we were about to leave Mirskan, and there was an attack of House Vast, just like it was predicted. It had assassins, it had demons, and Iggy got possessed. There was a giant battle where Iggy failed almost every roll that he had. Thankfully to all of us, we got the demons out of him, took them all out, and finally fled Mirskan. And that's where we left off. So from that, let the adventure begin.
Several hours outside the city of Mirskan, a dirt path winds its way across rising hills. Our heroes, beaten and tired from the assault in the city right before they left, ride a team of horses past several large houses with attached farms. They pass by farmers who approach with friendly waves, but then keep their distance upon seeing these tired, beaten warriors ride by. Ahead, the heroes see their destination, the Talmaldren estate, a large manor nestled within a vineyard. The long line of horses and heroes ride by vineyard workers and heads towards the main courtyard of the estate. Sir Brenrose the Knight looks back at his friends.
Well, aren't we a sight for sore eyes? I mean, literally, those fiends back in the city almost clawed out my eyeballs.
Forget your eyes. I had a demon inside my body, controlling my every move.
Every move, every single thing you did was out of your control. Are you sure about that, Inkster?
Yeah, you did have a pretty big grin on your face as you came after us with your giant hammer. Was all that you? Or was that the demon inside?
Little column A, little column B.
Hey guys, that's not fair. Iggy's not responsible for what a demon makes him do. He was possessed after all.
Iggy's never responsible for his actions. He's a weird-smelling barbarian, even without a demon.
Careful, Jix. I feel like that demon could come back at any second. I don't know if I can stop my hand from grabbing my maul and pounding you into a paste.
Iggy crosses his eyes and pulls out his giant hammer menacingly.
Sir Brenrose, Iggy's threatening to slay me.
Jix, stop antagonizing the dwarf. Iggy, stop trying to make Jix into a paste.
You're no fun.
Lads, The Talmaldren estate is just here. We've got to make a big impression with the lady of the estate. See where her allegiance lies, and try to woo her to our side in the king's return.
We look like hell.
We look like we've been swallowed whole by an ogre.
Yeah, Xander, you'd be the expert on ogre swallowing.
Oh, I'm haunted.
We were told Lady Talmaldren likes the finer things in life and needs to be delicately brought to our side in this political arena. And yet we look dead tired, dirty, and bloody.
And let's not forget, we gave away our only official proof of representing the king, his official amulet.
Well, so what's our next step? How do we get in the door? How do we approach Lady Talmaldren?
Ooh, I have a cunning plan.
You do?
Wait, well, no. But if I did, it would have been a great one.
Truly helpful, Xander. Truly helpful.
The heroes and their string of horses ride through the gates into the courtyard of the estate. Several armed guards walk out from the shade of the porch to see who these dangerous new travelers are. Hold! What's your business here?
Who's up front?
Right.
Whoever wants to be.
I think Brenrose is driving this train.
I think I am.
He's the one that threatened to turn the car around.
Hello, guard. We come to see Lady
My name's Paul.
Paul. Hello, Paul. Paul does he have discernible rank or
Paul, son of Todd.
We're gonna go through this. Paul, son of Todd. Third of his name. We come to speak with Lady Talmaldren. We have very serious business to discuss with her.
Sildren, you can see just beyond in the estate, tucked away, is a carriage with the markings of official Navaran Senate. And you can see there are several guards, Navaran soldiers, not guards of the estate, but Navaran soldiers who are just sitting around the carriage, just chatting with each other, relaxing, and kind of a loose guard duty around the carriage.
All right. Is there any way to tell which senator's carriage that might be?
Negative.
Okay.
Negative. The guard says, "And who are you? And what's your business with the lady of the lady of the house?"
I am Sir Brenrose Aldermain of Calavier, Knight of the Order of the Vigilant, and these are my companions. And our business is pressing with Lady Talmaldren.
Make a diplomacy +1, Sir Brenrose.
All right.
First roll of the night. Let me get that up on our stream as
and
well.
hero points to follow.
Ooh, hero points.
Diplomacy +1. 26 is the total.
These aren't the droids we're looking for. And he says, "Yes, come in. We'll let the house staff know you're here." And he motions to one of the guards. One of the guards goes over to the house and rings a bell that's just right there with a little thin little rope, and clang, clang. And as you guys dismount, a stable boy comes out from the stable and starts taking your horses. And if I'm correct, you guys have like almost 3 horses each. You brought all of them, right?
Correct. We do have 3 horses each.
Okay, except you
There's
didn't
a
have
donkey.
enough. You didn't. Yeah, there's a donkey that was
There's an
originally
entropy.
riding. Jix and Xander, the 2 smaller people, and then you guys each have, I think, like 1, 2, 3, 4. They gave you 12 horses. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, you guys. So you have between Jix and Xander, you guys have 1 donkey and 4 horses. So I don't know if there's any. Like, do you guys like the donkey thing or?
We can have 4 horses each.
Speaking of donkeys, really,
The three human-sized creatures can have 4 horses,
We can put on
Totally.
a show for you if you want.
and you guys can keep the donkey unless you guys want a horse.
It's too high.
There's the
Where's the
answer.
mark button to mark this
so far.
podcast? Oh God.
Wait a minute. What's too high off the ground?
No, Skip. We have new viewers just turning off instantaneously.
Speaking to the stable hand and tossing him a silver at the same time, which one of the senators arrived before us?
It was an old fellow. It started with an N, Ninen, I think. Seemed nice enough, although he didn't tip like you did, sir.
I'll just remember that later when we're probably running from this building.
No reason!
So yeah, this is the normal stable boy helps one of you off. It's a stable boy helping like 5, 6 of you off, and then all the other horses in this Mongolian race across Asia line. This is a hell of a lot of work for this guy.
I'll give him a couple more silver. So three silver total to 10.
I'll help him put away the horses. I'll give him young man. Let me help you here.
All right.
Unless the group isn't looking, I'll slip him a gold.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. And he gives you all the keys to get things back when you go to the valet parking. Anyways, you guys head over. Just let that joke go. You guys head over to the door. The door opens, and out comes a manservant type guy, but not dressed particularly formally like you've run into some others, like Chumley back in the city. This guy looks dressed nice. He has like a cooking towel over his arm that looks a little stained, and he says as he strides out, he's a human guy, a rather attractive guy. He says, "Good afternoon. My name is Rotterman, and who may I say you are? Who is visiting?"
Like Dennis Rotterman?
Yes.
The famous watermelon ball player?
Yes, the one and the same.
Oh man, I'm in awe. I'm the king of the hammerheads.
And he pulls the shirt open.
I'm glad to have the pleasure. And the rest of you, can I ask what this is about? There's a bit of an event going on, and we were not expecting some additional visitors. You also notice some of the Navaran soldiers from the official carriage are kind of walking over and keeping an eye on things, because you guys don't look necessarily pleasant.
Xander kind of gently pushes Brenrose forward as much as he can. Do it again! Do it! Say the thing!
With a force push. We have.
Oh, hold on, let me get my story straight.
Let me check my notes. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't say it to him, right? We'd say it to Lady Talmaldren. Yes, we've come to deliver a message to Lady Talmaldren for her ears, and we've come quite the distance to do so.
He says, "Oh, well, I'm certain she would be happy to see." You mentioned you're a knight, right?
Yes.
She'd be certain she'd be happy to see a knight of your stature. Why don't I have the stable boy? And he snaps his fingers, and the boy with the Idrisyl looks up. He leaves the horses and comes running over. I'll have the stable boy get your.
Wait! No, come back! No, come back here! No! They just ride back in 20 minutes. You'll be fine.
Just being slowly just dragged. He says, "Let me have your entourage. We'll have them rested and take care of in the servants' quarters, and you can come right in, Master Knight."
Very well. Well, aren't I the most beat up and atrocious of my crew here?
You have a shiny shield.
Yeah.
You go first.
I think a wounded knight is still better than
you're probably
mercenaries. So that was probably what we look
Chicks
like.
can lead the way.
I will follow suit there.
All right, he brings you in, Sir Brenrose. The rest of you are taken to a not so great looking side house where the workers live. They're busy, so he brings you over there while Idrisyl is, you just off in the distance, you hear him yelling as he's being pulled down the road.
This isn't what I meant by split the party!
You guys are taken into the worker area by the stable boy, and he says, well, you can share those 2 rooms there, and I can unroll some mattresses for you, and we'll have some stew ready in a couple hours once the workers come back for dinner time.
Ooh, I don't think we'll be here very long.
Oh,
But thank you.
I'm Ignal Heavybringer. What's your name? I don't want to just call you Stable Boy.
My name is Keynes.
Keynes, what is going on here tonight?
Every player is looking for some way to screw with the name Keynes as soon as I said it. I can see the looks.
That man Rotterman said there was an event going on. What's happening?
Oh, the Lady Talmaldren always has some sort of event going on. She has a guest at the place, that Nightland senator, and some other guests, and so she celebrates a lot. I'm sure your master that night will be well taken care of tonight.
How well taken care of?
That's not my place to say, sir.
What?
But I can show you with puppetry.
Oh, I have a doll here.
Very well. Thank you for your help.
Sir Brenrose, you are led inside this nice estate. There are extravagant-looking statues made of jade and silver and bronze. There is a lot of art. The place kind of has an open, airy back, open wall that's exposed like a cabana type thing in the southern world of Southern North America type vibe. It's but some of the not architecture, but the art is a little gaudy, and there's just way too much of it. And he brings you inside, and Rotterman says, let me get you to a place you can clean yourself off, sir, and then I can announce you properly. And takes you down a room to a bedroom where he brings forth some water, and you can shuffle off your dirty, blood-covered armor.
If there is that kind of need for that, then I can disrobe and put on something more appropriate.
All right. Your more appropriate is you find a little lacking, and he can see that as he's setting your armor up on some little armor pedestal type thing, and saying, "Would you like me to clean that for you, sir? The armor, I mean."
You may.
And would you be needing something more formal, perhaps?
To address Lady Talmaldren, yes, I think that would be appropriate.
Says the old knight standing in his long johns with big sword wounds and demon claw marks across.
Trying to patch, hoping I can have some skill in that, but I don't.
Very well. I believe I can find something. I'm sure one of her many guests don't need their clothes right at this very moment, and I will find something for you.
What kind of party is this? All right.
And he attends to your needs, and it is 45 minutes later.
Wow, good job.
Jesus. It's 45 minutes later, and Sir Brenrose is brought out to the back terrace, where you see there are several people gathered. There are some young folks that are drinking a lot and giggling. It's like a little party going on. There is a old-looking, venerable-looking man who looks a little prestigious, who's sitting back at a table and sipping some wine. And next to him is a lady dressed in a nice, flowery, bushy, almost, what does it make you think of? A dress that's almost prom-like, with bushy shoulders and big greens. She has like a big rose here. She's got a big curved hat with flowers in it. Again, it looks a little gaudy, but she also has just a big smile on her face. And you see one of the young people at the other end is this very lithe young man who has his shirt off and has some sort of cream-related stuff on his upper chest, and some young girls are 15 feet away, throwing little cherries at his chest, trying to get them to stick. And there, everyone's applauding. Oh, so close, so close.
PG version of cherry darts.
Yeah, that's in my notes, actually. It literally says cherry darts in my notes. And then you are announced. The servant, Roderman, says, I give to you, arriving now, Sir Brenros Aldermain from Calavier, the Order of the Vigilant. And everyone turns around and says, hello and hi. And the lady herself stands up and comes over, and she strides over with a big smile. And she looks at you in a slightly ill-fitting, more formal outfit for this late lunch. Well, hello, and welcome to my estate. It's an honor to have a night here.
Lady Talmaldren, the honor is mine, and thank you for receiving me. And he extends a bow before her.
Oh, well, aren't you experienced? Please, come in and sit down. And she has you sit down at the table with the older gentleman whom you recognize, Sir Brenros. You recognize this.
It's a demon.
You recognize this old man as Senator Nithor. He is a man you have met before, although you, Christopher, were not playing Brenros when you ran into him.
Right.
Sir Nithor was a senator who you met in Tavernry at a dinner party where you were playing the role of a slaver. And you were delivering some slaves to get some information. Those slaves happened to be Xander and Idrisyl at the time, pretending to be slaves. But anyways, there was a dinner party. Things did not go completely as planned, and that's where you know him from.
What a coincidence.
This ought to be comfortable dinner conversation.
She brings you over and says, Senator, this is Sir Brenros, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
This is Sir Brenros. And he says, oh, well, hello, good afternoon. And he holds out a hand to shake, and you seem familiar to me. Have we met before?
It's possible at other functions. I do travel quite a bit.
Oh, well, it's good to see you in any event. What brings you out here? I'd like to know that myself.
Actually, I have pressing business with Lady Talmaldren. I do have some things to discuss with you, and better in private than in open company.
Speaking
no
of
disrespect
private,
to
you are interrupted, not just by me.
Damn, I'm interrupting.
You were interrupted by a shirtless guy covered in cream and says, not before I have you first. Come here, you. And starts pulling Sir Brenros Aldermain away from, look at Christopher's look. Pulling you away from the table over towards the young people. And says,
right,
come on,
cherry
here we go.
all over his chest.
Here's my cream.
Stem side out.
He says, come on. And he says, everyone's got to take a turn. And he goes over to one side.
How many parties have I been to for that? All right.
He goes over to one side, and the girls laugh, and they give you some strange little dessert cream to put the cherries in and sling at this young man's chest. What are you?
You don't have time for this.
That is your quote. He's going to say that at the altar to his marriage.
Is there any way to humor this individual but not partake, as I am a knight, and this is not exactly an official challenge?
You decide. There are 3 young ladies that are going, do it. You can get him hard. And he's like 15 feet away going, come on, you can do it. I'm a great target, and holds out his chest.
Throwing cherries.
You are throwing cherries at
I
him.
am throwing cherries. I look sternly to the steward and I go, get my shield.
As you roll initiative.
I partake in this
Get him in the eye.
camaraderie. And the cherry throwing is just to the point of stinging a little bit.
Okay.
Miss, do you really want me to keep doing this?
Brenros has
Some
never
pent
mind.
up Terry anger.
Picks
Yeah.
a pebble instead.
Just
No one
a pip.
invites me to these parties.
Brenros, make a attack roll for me, please, just for an overall experience of how well you do.
An attack roll?
Yes.
All right.
Just a
Can you make a
weapon attack
dom
roll.
roll?
Wanted to be 27.
One attack roll is a 10.
A 10
How
plus,
mediocre is that?
plus, no, you got a pretty good, you got like probably a plus 12 on top of that 22. You hit him
just-
hard, and you
Okay.
leave a third nipple on his chest, right where you hit him. He's like, ah, ooh, that was a good one.
Oh. I check out the cherry and I go, geez, right?
You're holding broken tiles in your hand that you snapped out of the ground.
Left
He's
the
like, "Oh,
stones in.
That's okay. All right, that's good. That's good. Lady Talmaldren says, Sir Brenros, don't hurt the young man. I need him for later. Come here. Come here.
Terribly sorry.
Well, you are good sports.
And thank you for noticing that. Do you have a moment to step away from your party here?
She looks you up and down.
with the blinks.
I could
Audible blinks.
I could get my
Remember the
armor.
party barge in season 2?
Party barge. There you go.
Yeah,
Oh my
Kellen's party barge.
He says, we will have a time for that later, I'm sure. Did you come alone, Sir Brenros?
Oh no, I did not. I am traveling with companions who are waiting for me in the quarters your servant so nicely provided.
Describe these companions. Are they just horrible little manservant types, or are they more muscular mercenary types?
Bit of A, column A, bit of column B. They are.
Wait, who's who? We need to figure this out.
Please excel and break this down.
Since you don't know my Zoom order, I'll go A, B, B. They are a well-traveled assortment, the finest kind of people. Is my official answer to it.
Well, I think that's wonderful. Why don't we speak over dinner and we can go over, I would love to hear what's been going on with Calavier. Why don't you enjoy some wonderful dinners, spend the night, and between then and now, why don't we go check in with your friends and go see if any of them want to play some Hopsies out on the lawn before dinner?
Of course, that would be very entertaining, but these matters are quite pressing.
I'm sure they are. So certainly go let me know if any of them would love to join us. Now I must go freshen up. Thank you,
as
Sir
she's trying
Brenros.
to walk by, as she's trying to walk by, I'm directing my voice away from essentially the rest of the crowd behind me.
Okay.
And it's in a lowered tone so that she could hear it. But I go, this matter does concern the wolves.
What's that?
I said away from the I give her a look of earnestness, saying these matters are important, and I fear they would not hold until the festivities you have planned.
She says, yes. Don't worry, that welt will come out. And she goes to care for her young friend who you wounded earlier. Brenros, what do? You are left unaccounted for, sitting awkwardly with this old guy, this old senator. Have I told you ever of the time where we had a strange goblin come into the Senate and he smelled like raw fish?
No.
Where are you
no.
going?
Where are you going? I must excuse myself for a moment.
Of course.
Who else is in attendance here? It's just the young
group and the senator.
And the senator.
There are some servants that are around, the main manservant, and there are some guards outside and some soldiers outside. And then there's a whole separate servant quarters building where your friends are at.
I'm going to start making my way out to that servant's quarters.
All right, you guys are getting a little settled, but not too settled, and are kind of wondering what's going on when Sir Brenros arrives at the servants' quarters.
Without my armor and in completely different gear.
He's in a puffy pirate shirt.
With whipped cream on me, apparently. Don't
I
ask.
trust you've gathered the ladies' confidences and prepared to go pursue the chalice now.
I very much want to pursue the chalice, but it seems she has engrossed herself in some frilly entertainment for the evening. She is quite exhaustive in that regard. But she does not seem as keen or as willing to sit down and talk with me separately.
What does she seem keen on? What
Having her
around?
party.
There's a
What-
party and we're not
what's-
invited?
Well, yeah. What specifically could we use to our advantage here?
If we were to go with
What was around her? How were the people acting? Were they in fear of her? Were they bourgeois?
no,
Were they?
they're quite bourgeois. They were quite engaged.
That means
in
fancy,
activities.
Oh, thank you. You looked at some look at my face.
If we are to play act this way, there is an activity or several that will consume the evening. I worry about time, but if this is the way to do it, then this is the way to do it.
What kind of activities?
I think it involves a wicket stick and some fluffy balls. I don't know.
Oh, fluffy
I'm not
balls.
familiar with all
That's
these.
an
I know that
episode
game.
name right there.
Will there be
Working on that
familiar with
potion.
all
I break out the Bright Lotus.
will there be gambling, coin taking
These are
different
more,
hands?
high society games. It's not games of strength and smarts. I can't quite describe it accurately.
Will we have to dress like you?
Probably.
Yay!
Sojourn mentioned the senator's carriage. Did you spy the senator in there, perchance?
There is a senator in there. Senator, what was the name? That was Nithal?
Nythor?
Thor?
Senator Nythor?
Yes.
Nithal is what you take every night to help you go to sleep, Brett.
That's what the stable boy said was Nythor.
That senator that we had seen at the Slaver House not too long ago.
Oh no. Did he recognize you?
Fortunately, no. I think if I
Okay.
had been in any other gear, maybe, but
Idrisyl, do you think he'll recognize us?
I have an idea that could sneak past his suspicions.
he
He
did
takes
make
off a dress.
he did make specific mention of a goblin in the Senate, and that may include young Jix here, as far as being fresh in his mind. But outside of that,
When did you go to the Senate? Jix.
I don't know. When did I go to the Senate?
just something he mentioned in passing. A goblin, and that's it. But I just wanted to warn you and keep you aware of that.
There is a knock upon the door, and the door to the servants' quarters opens up. You're in this common area with just one table, bland chairs. One of her personal guards walks in. The lady requests your presence for a game of Hopsies in the back garden.
Hopsies. That was the
What is
name.
Hopsies?
Yeah, what's Hopsies?
My good man.
Do you have a room I could cool and wash myself before I meet this woman of such great honor?
Yeah.
Come on, Idrisyl! Hopsies!
Trust me, Zana. Trust me.
He's able to give you a place to wash up as well, and you guys are provided some very clean but very plain servants' clothes if you want those.
So Idrisyl is going to take I'm guessing it's like maybe just like a shabby shirt of some kind.
Sure.
It's going to be very open to reveal his kind of toned body.
All right.
And like Jack, what's his name? Orlando Bloom in Pirates of the Caribbean, that very frilly open shirt style. It's really like that. And I'm going to take all my armor and weaponry and off and put it inside of my bag of holding.
Except for one gold chain with the ring of the ram hanging from it.
It's Will Turner.
Idrisyl the Gigolo.
All right, Idrisyl
And I'm
comes
gonna
out looking
find back
fine.
ponytail, and yeah.
Nice.
I like
Jix
it.
just puts
All you
the
need is
clothes
whipped
on
cream, and I
top
think
of
you're all
his
set.
other
And you
clothes.
mentioned Bright Lotus, so
What was that,
Yeah.
Jix?
He just puts the
I'll
new
give you
clothes
a
on
little
top
bit.
of his other clothes.
Absolutely.
just a little.
A little spritz of Bright Lotus for him.
I just walked through. Oh yes.
Jix, one more time.
Okay, Jix just puts on the new clothes on top
what
of his
Xander's
double-
gonna do is
It's Dick to Jix night.
Isn't it always?
Episode name.
All right. Anything else? Anyone else doing any special freshening up that I need to be aware of?
Jix just wants to put the clothes on top of his other clothes.
He says it super fast.
No, I mean, Sildren will dress appropriately with what he's been given.
Yeah.
Can I keep the leather armor on without being too conspicuous, or?
No.
All right.
Jix looks like he's trying to smuggle something out of a Walmart.
Have they
He's got a hand between his legs.
have they brought something for Yathane to wear?
No, they have not. They have it. It's a kebab
like a
skewer.
little Philly neck thing or something out of oh, now.
Damn. They have like a red feather and a nice little pink feathers. Add some color.
Ignal will clean up and wear the provided clothes.
All right.
Xander's gonna keep on his floppy wizard hat.
Okay.
And
All right.
nothing else.
And nothing else.
Oh,
Got it.
Natural.
Where's he
I
got
do-
that floppy hat?
I do bring the necklace of the fireballs with me. Just
All right. So that's your weapon of choice if things go down. Got
Yep.
it. All right.
Want to play cherry
Open
darts
up that
now?
shirt a little bit. Reveal some of that dwarf hair.
Nope.
All right. You guys are escorted around the side of the house and are officially announced, each and every one of you, by the servant. You see there are those young people all gathered and they're giggling and they're doing some weird thing where they're like in a line, just doing a leapfrog type of some strange game, and they're all smiling. They go, oh, there they are. Come here, come here. And the servant says, once again, I give you Sir Brenros Aldermain of Calavier, the Order of the Vigilant, and friends. And you guys are all brought out, and you see Lady Talmaldren and the senator have their own little table off to the side. There's nice thick grass. There's topiaries that are designed in all sorts of strange, fantastical creatures. There's a little fountain bubbling off in the distance, but it's just a whole bunch of grass. And she looks over the group and just gets a big smile looking at the whole lot of you, particularly when her eyes fall upon the pale but lithe chest of Idrisyl. She's quite excited to see that and says, well, welcome. Please come in. I am Lady Talmaldren, as you probably know. And who are you, she says to Idrisyl.
They call me Idrisyl of the Woodland Realm. A pleasure.
Sounds mysterious.
And I like take her hand without her even being able to react, and I give it a kiss.
Oh, no diplomacy roll necessary. She loves it. She turns to Iggy. And who are you?
My
Ignal,
associate.
Ignal Heavybringer, sailor of the Twin Seas.
Oh, charmed.
Ah,
And
likewise.
and you, little one. To Xander.
My name is Xander. I'm a gnome. Also, we are the defenders of Navarre. And Xander does a flourish and then produces flame.
Oh my! We have performers! That sounds just wonderful. Wonderful.
It's like a flamenco stance.
That's what it looked like. I also like when she goes to Xander, he says, I'm Xander. I have the highest diplomacy of the group. I'm your special guy.
I'm a talker.
And she goes up to Sildren, the druid, and says, and you, sir?
Sildren of the Druid of the Seventh Conclave.
A druid? You know a bit of magic?
I am familiar with primal magics, yes.
I see. There's a little primal sparkle in your eye.
Indeed there is. And I'll give her a little primal look, I suppose.
Okay.
Everyone gets really weirded out. It's flirting.
Diplomacy is just going lower and lower and lower.
And then she finally snaps and says, Rodderman, get this one something to eat. I'm sure it's hungry. And then she walks away as Rodderman comes over and pulls Chicks away from the group. And he pulls you into the kitchen, the private kitchen inside the estate, where there are several cooks making dinner. And he says, why don't you stay here, and I'll come get you when the festivities are done.
Done? No, I want to be festive.
I will see when the lady would like to have you partake in the festivities again.
But I'm part of them.
He closes the door. The cooks look at you, and they don't know what to do.
Chop chop! Let's get cooking.
And one of the cooks hands you a ladle and a big sharp knife and points at all the vegetables that need to be cooked, and they look confused.
Because you handed him a ladle to chop up vegetables.
Back outside. It is time for a game of Hopsies, says the shirtless young man. And he gets you guys all in a line and essentially has boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl type of a situation as best they can with Xander filling in as needed. And they've got the whole line set up and everyone's kind of doing this weird leapfrog. And the young guy, still shirtless, says, I'll go first. And
is Lady Talmaldren joining in this, or is she watching?
She is watching with a great deal of excitement off to the side, sipping at some more wine. And the young man is right behind Sildren. And he says, bend over, and bends you over, Sildren. And he puts his hands on your hips. My God, we're losing listeners still. Oh God. He puts his hands on your hips. This is
You might
very
be gaining
official.
some, you never know.
And
raid from other groups.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
and says, I'm a horse. And then leaps over you and laughs and kind of falls over when he lands there. And then Lady Talmaldren says, oh, he didn't make it. Time to drink. And apparently they're playing some drinking game when someone does something wrong. And her and the senator take a big sip of their wine. And then it turns around to Idrisyl, and everyone's looking at Idrisyl.
Idrisyl just sees the young man who he has made his enemy.
There's a rivalry.
He just looks at him and looks at everyone and just kind of gathers the sense of the game. And before Sildren can get back up, Idrisyl just scoots behind him and just says, hang on, I'm trying to get the appropriate roll ready so it's a fluid motion.
What roll?
Wait.
I'm not
Hold on, what's going on now?
What's happening?
Just in case, I'm trying to get to that screen.
No one noticed to bring his bow.
So I, like I said, I pretty much have an open shirt, just flowing in the possible breeze here. I just get behind Sildren and I say, if this is how this is supposed to work, then I'm a frog! And I leap over Sildren, attempting to land on the other side.
All right, and then they go, you land perfectly, and Sildren just looks more humiliated by people hopping over him. And she says, oh, he didn't make the frog noise, drink, and everyone drinks.
Oh, okay. I didn't make the frog noise because as I'm jumping over him, I say, use magic jump.
Next up behind Sildren is the expert at this game, apparently, and it is Sir Brenros, who sidles up looking decidedly uncomfortable about this whole episode tonight and gets behind Sildren.
Hop aboard, everybody else has.
What's new?
And a young girl whispers in your ear, do an animal, do an animal.
Right. I do the majestic stallion and whee, and do the big leap, but it's kind of the English style with the high step and the quick jump over.
All right.
Some dressage going on.
There you go.
They clap. Sildren gets his chance. There's some of the ladies get their chance, and then they come to Xander and they change up the rules slightly. And Lady Talmaldren says, I'm picking this one. You're a peacock.
I'm a peacock.
In the most
somebody
sensual way possible.
Who knows what a frickin' peacock
That
sounds
is
like?
true.
They're horrific.
Thank God he didn't change into a beetle.
I know, but the weird thing is Xander is much smaller than Sir Brenros, who he's got his hips on, and so he makes that noise and then starts slowly climbing over Brenros and trying to throw a leg and trying to do his horrible before rolling off the other side. They drink, and then all eyes turn to the last one to go, which is Iggy. You have Sir Brenros right in front of you, turning around, looking behind, and Iggy walks up. You put your hand on the old knight's hips. He's also a little bit higher than you. And
I'm going to saddle right up, and I'm going to lean in close. And
I'm a demon!
Sir Brenros, I'm a big old bear.
Come on in, Big Daddy.
And I will attempt to get over the top of Brenros.
Make an acrobatics roll -3, please.
That's an 11.
An 11. You make it over almost, but then you end up straddling Sir Brenros's neck from behind and then flop over. There are laughter and claps and more drinks are had, and everyone's really happy. And the young guy, the young shirtless guy, comes up and claps you on the back, Iggy, and says, "Well done. That was so well done." And then he glares at Idrisyl across the grass.
Idrisyl has made, as he goes to Iggy, Idrisyl makes his way closer to Lady Talmaldren.
All right. She comes over and she says, "You did so well."
I appreciate that. That was my first time ever playing this game.
You wouldn't know it. You know, we play a lot of games around here.
That I would believe, judging by your very festive young cabana boy.
Oh, thank you. Would you care to join us for dinner?
I am under the tutelage of Sir Brenros this evening. He led us here on a journey of his own making. So it would be up to his words, but if Brenros would feel inclined, it would be an honor to sit next.
Sir Brenros, may we have this one for dinner? The handsome one.
Have me for dinner? Wait a second.
Didn't know it was that kind of party.
Where's the giant pot?
As long as I am able to have words with you later, he's all yours.
Wonderful. And she says, and there's like maybe another 30 minutes of chit-chatting and laughter. And then dinner is cold, and the group is brought
Do a scene
into the
in
dinner.
the kitchen before dinner is
What's going on in that 30-45 minutes in dinner prep?
So in the kitchen, you see Jick standing up on top of the counter, ladle in hand,
saying, "You over there, you cook that bouillabaisse more. That needs some more toad gizzard."
and then he's looking over here, and his bag of alchemical reagents. It's just pour it out.
You're just
all over the
rolling
counter.
out everything.
You put some more powdered bile on that steak. It needs more flavor. You over there, shave some more snail skin on top of that. Make it look nice. There we go. Yeah, we're presenting here. Good job.
We start making desserts, and then all you hear is buns away, bitches.
They follow your orders. They're very confused, and they start making that dinner to your specifications. You're very clear and concise with your commands, and you keep calling them donkey and all sorts of stuff. And and dinner is served and brought out. And Idrisyl is there. Sir Brenros is there. What are the rest of you four doing?
Xander is going to make an effort to speak with everyone else that he can find, right? There's other servants that live in those quarters? Or
Yes.
is it just Roderman and Keen?
No, there are some others, yeah.
So Xander's kind of plan is to kind of hobnob around and say, what's Lady Talmaldren like? What is she about? And just really try to get information about the best way to communicate with her so that we could have conversations around.
Okay.
That's
Great.
that's his plans.
All right. The rest of you are just heading back to the servants' quarters. Then I'm assuming Jix too.
Jix, yeah, after he does his obligatory, walk through the dining room while everyone claps,
Okay.
as you do for a chef.
You have a little chef hat on?
I do.
It
Ladle-
came from the
ladle's
end of the
still
turkey
in
leg. Yeah, they bring out food and it looks odd, like it's a really fancy, nice, like pheasant, but then it has like some strange piece of celery sticking out with peanut butter in the celery and raisins on the peanut butter type of a thing. And it's just like, what? This doesn't go together.
I call this ants on a log.
They just don't, doesn't make sense to them. You get like 2 claps as you walk around. The lady looks confused why you're even here. But she is but she's totally distracted by Idrisyl, who has forcefully, quickly taken the seat right next to her, kicking out the younger guy who sits next to you and is glaring at you. And a dinner is served. You guys drink and eat, and throughout the dinner, there's some chit chat. And the lady asks into the dinner. She says, "Brenros Aldermain, why don't you regale us with a tale? Tell us what you've been up to, a man of your experience. Tell us a story."
Oh, thank you. Excuse me. As coming from the kingdom of Calavier, I've had the honor of experiencing and meeting a great many people. One of the greatest adventures in my life thus far, meeting the individuals before you, the ones who are present in it, and having them along in the adventures that entailed crossing the Great Divide to the eastern coast, or to the western coast, actually. Along such ways, we found giants and creatures of all sizes. We have taken on the various rabble that one would find in such a journey. We had encountered the enemies of Navarre, and we had held them at bay as best we could in great fashion. And he keeps the story going like
Keeps
this.
rambling. Make it just a generic diplomacy roll, -1, for your overall story delivery.
I'm not the diplomacy expert. Here we go.
Just for flair.
A 16 with the -1.
16. You deliver a decent story. She's impressed. It's not the most eloquently delivered, but she says, "Oh, I had no idea
And there we were! I was firing ice after ice after ice at the undead as they crawled up out of the ground. They stacked on top of each other in a weird undead tower. And underneath, trying to swim his way out, there was Ignal Heavybringer. He was about to suffer his own death until we had to come back next week.
And it's just us sitting in the servants' quarter.
The servants' quarters.
That's
Where the cool story is. There's like 6 manual laborers going, wow, that's so cool. Brenrose, you are a little side conversation opens up as Senator Nithor leans over and says, yes, I think I remember. Weren't you some sort of commodities dealer?
Not to my recollection, no.
I swear I recall you. There was a dinner party some time ago in Tabernary. Oh, it was a nasty affair. Don't you recall? Weren't you a guest of Anshiel was his name? There was a terrible murder of a poor chef. Most heinous.
Must forgive me, my memory is not quite so good. You'll have to tell me more, and I'd be willing to listen.
Well, it all began, and he regales a story.
Roll!
There was a dessert, and there were people everywhere, and there was this one chef who couldn't see it coming, and he got smashed in the face out of nowhere, like a brick was taking him out. And while he was gurgling to his death, the Ignald Heavybringer came in. He grabbed gauze, stuffed it down his throat until he gasped his last possible breath. Until...
And get a hero point for that, Jeremy. And the night continues on, and Lady Talmaldren, the dinner starts to wrap up. A dessert is served that no one agrees tastes right in any way whatsoever. There's it's like an ice cream, but it has weird crunchy bits at the bottom and weird curly snail-like.
But the chef won't leave until we clap every serving.
She says, well, it's getting a bit late, and the young man who is her company says, isn't that wizard going to have dinner with us? And she says, oh, I guess not. I guess he's still busy. But I dare say there might be a little magic and fun yet tonight. Idrisyl, would you care to keep me company this evening and perhaps get a private tour of the estate?
I was hoping you asked that the second we met.
She smiles bigly and takes your hand.
I take her hand.
Yeah, lets you take her hand, and she starts walking along.
Hand in arm thing.
And she just says, oh, it's just so wonderful to have you here. It's so nice. Oh, no. You can hang out with your friends, she says to the young man, and then takes you, Idrisyl, down into...
Back to the cabana, boy.
And Idrisyl disappears for the night. And who else is there? It is Brenrose. Anything else you want to do or say?
Who all is present?
The young crowd and the senator and servants.
It was just you and I, Brenrose.
Then just listening to any kind of mentionings from the senator that might have been more recent activities for this area, if he's talking about that.
Yeah, you can ask him a question if you'd like.
Senator, what news have you of the the township in Mirskan? What is the sense there?
There is a sense of confusion and some ne'er-do-wells conjuring up silly stories about long dead kings and trying to stir up trouble. It's quite a big mess right now. I was sent here particularly to keep an eye out for any troublemakers and keep the word of the Senate going strong. You know that the voice of the Senate must always be heard throughout the kingdom. But yes, it's. I like things quiet and calm, and I don't like fussiness, and I don't like being sent outside the city. And this business with these wolves kind of rubs me the wrong way.
I see. And just casual, polite conversation past that.
All right. It is morning time.
We missed it.
Do you have something important, Idrisyl?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What do you got?
Idrisyl,
It is-
take drained one.
It is early morning time.
It is early morning time.
No.
The sun has just started to peak over the horizon.
When you peek,
She's in a tower, some kind of upper level, so we can have a bit of a horizon to see. Idrisyl is lying in the bed like this, with her. I'm assuming just laying on his chest or whatever.
With her? How do you know that?
Oh, he's got it.
Is this Idrisyl or is this not Idrisyl? He got it. So he's just reminiscing about the evening, going through the pleasantries, etc. And this just says, well, I'm afraid my associate Brenros has a good heart, but sometimes he isn't strong enough to come out with exactly what it is he desires.
Ooh.
And that's why he brings along friends such as myself.
Well,
And
I'm
young-
glad. I'm
young
more
Xana.
interested in what you desire.
Well, Lucy, I don't know what her name is. Talmaldren. It behooves him, of course, to serve his queen and all that his queen desires. Brenros is a knight of the vigilant. He cares purely for the sanctity and the security of this kingdom and his own. Therefore, his mission has brought him all over the western borders, looking for one individual and one individual only.
Mm.
King Phaon, my lady.
King Phaon. He seeks out King Phaon.
I also seek King Phaon. We fear that the people of Mirskon have just gone into disarray. They've allowed the houses to control everything. They're threatening other cities such as Tavernry with religious rule. It's just something that I as an elf cannot stand for. Brenros as a knight will not stand for. And King Phaon is the man. We have met this man. We know him to be a just king. We know him to be honorable. We simply do not have the sway in the city, nor in the kingdom as mercenaries, to do what is right.
Sir Brenros is not a young man. I assume you have a few years yourself, but I want to be clear of what I've heard, as most agree that King Phaon is long dead some many years now, and yet you say you have seen him, so your memory is still that fresh from 20 years ago?
My lady, I can remember the look in his eye the last time I met him. Not 2 months ago. I saw
2
his face.
months ago.
I've lost track of time since I've been in Mirskon, but it was in the last couple months. I live in a town not a week's ride from Mirskon, and I saw him within those borders. I know he's somewhere in this city. I know he's somewhere in this kingdom. It's our job to find him, find some signal of him, and return him to his throne. That's our mission. But we can only do so much. We can do the physical labor. But we need someone with a good heart, such as yourself, my lady, to sway the kingdom back into its just ways. Back into order and peace.
She sits up and loses her smile. It's hard to hear some of what you're saying. It's been a long time where I've been hearing rumors of the king, and I have written them off as tales from young men eager to find some purpose and valor and bringing up old tales. I was there when his queen got sick and passed away. I knew him very well. To hear that you have met him and you are here to help his return is astonishing. The senator himself has come here to give me the gift from Senator Kethad and to chat with me about the state of what's going on with the king and to make sure I would not believe such rumors. And now here you are to stir up my heart about the king and other things.
If you feel I'm playing tricks on you, my lady, you may send me away immediately. I come only as a humble elf with nothing but the weapons I have before me, the few clothes and gold that I have on me, on my person. But other than that, I roam this land truly with my friends, seeking to do what is right. We met King Phaon along our journey. He told us of his plans to reignite the city with honor once again, to fill people with hope, as he used to do. He cannot do that if those even in the Senate just beneath him, who he relies on, are cowering at the turn of gold or some magic prize that, you know, can't make anyone truly happy. I think, as the saying goes, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And in our case, we need to bring the gander home.
And I take it this is what the knight wanted to speak with me about?
I believe so. It was certainly on his mind. It is on my mind. I don't wish to trouble you. I only wish to convey the message as I was tasked to do.
You understand that I am not quite beholden, but I have regular meetings with the Navaran Senate. I cast a very important vote to allow them to acknowledge their laws, have them voted upon by their laws, or to be more specific, me simply abstaining. And as the last member of the king's line, I stay out of the Senate's affairs. And yet I can tell you I am both very scared by what you say and very excited by what you say.
Sir Brenrose told me you had connections to the highest people of the city. I had no idea it was anything more than, forgive me, celebrity. Your establishment, your estate here is absolutely wonderful, and quite a distance from the city itself. You have senators visiting. I assume he's not the first, nor should he be the last. Forgive me, I did not know the honor which I had in meeting you, a woman of such high stature.
There are certain rules that have to be followed by certain people. I'm not fully aware of the extent of it, my understanding is there is a house of wizards within the city that follow a very strict series of laws that the Senate does not want to disturb. So the Senate follows strict rules, and part of that is the king has final say on what can be voted on or not. With the king been gone for these decades, that falls upon me. I abstain. The Senate gets done what they want. I get left alone and a few pretty baubles coming my way. But if what you say is true, I am stunned. Idrisyl, make a diplomacy roll +4.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
That'll be a total of 20.
A total of 20. The possibility of King Phaon returning. You say he is alive. He is well. He is healthy.
I know him to be alive. I know him to be of moderate health the last time I saw him. He certainly has some fight left in him. But I am no wordsmith, my lady. I let my actions speak for me, as I hope you'll keep in mind. I should let Brenros speak with you more clearly on the subject.
She says, of course.
And I'd roll my pantaloons up a bit and hear the rooster cry.
The rooster cry, and morning comes along. Idrisyl gain a hero point for that. That was fantastic. And it is morning time. It is the servants' quarters. You can hear Jix and Iggy snoring in one of the rooms. You guys isolated them into that room. Sildren, you don't sleep too much. You're at the main table. You're having breakfast. The workers had just come and eaten, and they're heading out to the field. Xander, groggy-eyed, joins the rest of the people at the table. And Xander, you start eating some warm porridge type stuff as the morning light starts to shine. And there is opening of a door. Some other workers come out. Some other guy comes in, sits right next to you, and just says, I couldn't figure it out at all. Just a terrible night. One of the worst. Oh, yeah, probably the worst. And you look over, and sitting right next to you, Xander, is Gabe the wizard.
What? Is you Gabe?
Yes. Oh, I know you. You're the bar boy.
Yes, I'm Xander.
Oh, can you get me something soft and smooth then? That would go well.
I'd be happy. Why are you here?
I'm called from time to time to friends who want to know things or do things, and apparently there's been a bit of a challenge here in with the basements recently, and so I came right away. I teleported very quickly. I'm a good teleporter. A very good teleporter. I arrived just half a mile away and had to have a horse carry me the rest of the way. And I've been up all night, trying to get through into the basement. It's just been terrible.
Well, you definitely need a drink then. Let me help you.
Yes.
And Xander runs up to go grab something that he thinks is probably going to be drinkish enough.
You pull some vial out of Jix's bag.
This is going to help you feel great. Continue to tell me about the basement. I have been working on my magic myself, Gabe, and I might be able to help you out just a little bit. But don't tell anyone. It'll all be your credit.
Oh, that sounds familiar. You didn't you get... there was some sort of hole you were stuck in where you were a chain gate, if I recall.
Oh, that's right. I was in the chain gate. Did you help with that?
I think I cast a spell to bring you out, or I put you in it, but I can't remember which.
Xander reaches over and grabs his face, just ear to ear. I may owe you my life. What can I do to help you here?
Oh no.
Would just settle for that porridge, and he takes your bowl away from you.
Okay. Yeah, and you
Let's
tell
not
me.
be crazy.
What is happening in the basement?
There's a gift some old fool brought. Not me! Some old fool brought just a few days ago, and some magic bird message came flying at my door, knocking away, which annoys me. I don't like to be bothered. And ooh, this is good. And then I teleported in. But to be honest, I actually went east, almost to the Broken Lands. But then I teleported back, and then I arrived pretty close to where I needed to be. Apparently, the gift was dropped off in the basement to help Lady Talmaldren. But it's isolated off the whole basement, and they cannot access it. And I think there's something weird going on. There's something odd, and it won't let me through. A man of my magic, I should be able to go wherever.
You already can go wherever. Look at how far you teleported in one night.
Yes, it wasn't easy. It's hard on the tummy.
I can imagine. You should drink more of that porridge.
Yes, and he starts eating more.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get you another bowl of that real quick. It's probably inside, so I'm going to go look for that for you, and then I'll come back and we can talk more about this.
All right.
Xander leaves the house, goes towards the kitchen, starts detecting magic.
All right. So you're going into the nice house proper, is that right?
I am.
All right. The servants.
Sildren was in there as well, right?
Yeah, Sildren's just quietly watching this whole conversation.
I'm gonna see if I can find my way into the basement.
All right. You leave Gabe behind. Sildren and Xander go into the house. The guards outside, there's one sleeping. He kind of looks at you, doesn't mind you going in. He's seen your faces. You go inside. Xander, you're in the kitchen. You detect magic. And Sildren, you are... and also Xander, there's several cooks that are looking confused as you walk in there. And they're like, are you going to tell us how to cook breakfast now?
You guys are the best ever. In fact, if there is any more porridge left, I know a very happy wizard who thinks that you make the best in the world.
They get you set up. Sildren, you are able to find, after asking for some fresh towels or something at the maid cart, directions to the basement, and can go down a couple stairs and see the basement ends with a magic force field at the bottom of the stairs, a golden kind of sparkly force field that blocks into the basement.
And my understanding, Gabe was trying to get this to basically get past this, yeah?
Yeah, you can see there's some empty little coffee cups and stuff where he's been up all night here on these bottom steps working on this field.
Is Xander with me?
Xander, I assume, will find you shortly unless you got something else to do. Yeah, Xander comes down the stairs.
Walking through the kitchen, detecting magic, grabbing porridge, taking it back, going back, detecting magic.
Yeah, I'd probably find Sildren like standing with his arms crossed, just staring at the barrier, trying to figure out anything about it that he can.
Make an arcana roll. Arcana roll? Arcana roll. I always get the name wrong.
16.
16.
You know, screw that. I'm going to use a hero point.
Okay.
And let's try that again. 21.
21. You can detect that this is a force field that is keeping you out, obviously. You can also detect, as you do just a little bit of magic, you're able to make it slightly translucent from time to time, where you get your hands close and you can add a little bit of clarity through the field. You can see beyond is a basement with some barrels and crates and stuff. And you can see some strange device in the middle of the basement. A servant walks by, sees you guys down there, and says, you might as well give up. We can't get any of the food down there that we need.
What else besides food is down there?
It's just normal household supplies, linens, the like.
And what created this force field?
It was a gift from Senator Nithor.
And what is its intent?
I don't know. I just make snail dessert. And he leaves. You can see there is a strange object in the middle of the basement. It is a series of gears and cogs that are slowly just rotating around. just going like the innards of some complex clock, but there's no clock face or anything like that, is what you see.
Clockwork stuff always goes well for us. Okay. Xander, what do you make of it?
Xander grabs his staff, his much shorter gnome-sized staff, and he's gonna, if it's gonna help, he was gonna make another Arcana check. Would that help at all? Or
Nope.
We got what we need. Cool.
Nope.
I have two things that I know about something that looks like that. The last time I saw something with those kind of gears moving around, it was around a master gear. And that got me into a chain gate, which went to a whole big mess. You don't know, but it was bad, Sildren. It was bad.
I've heard the tale, yeah.
Another thing I know. Number 2. This is a force field made of magic.
Very astute.
Are you sipping Gabe's wine you were sent to go get? What's happening?
I think
It's 7 a.m. somewhere.
I think there's a chance that we might be able to try something with this one. Gabe's a wizard, but he's not a great wizard. He taught me a few things, but most of it I got on my own. We might be able to dispel this, or we could try to use some different ways of getting through it. For example, the force field that we're seeing, it's just doorway. Is that what we're seeing? That the yellow shimmery is just right in front of that one door?
Yes, so you've come down the stairs, and right as the stairs open up into this largest square-like basement is this yellow, sparkly force field. Oh, also, everyone, you guys got a full night's rest, so any spells and everything healed. You also got rid of 1 wounded level, and 1 drain level, and 1 sickened level if you have those effects.
Fantastic. Thank you for that reminder.
Do you want to try to dispel it?
Yes. Do you want to work together?
Yes.
All right. So, you want me to dispel it?
Yes, and I will lend. Magically speaking, Tom, is there any way for us to like cast dispel magic in tandem and like combine it to try to create a single result?
Yes. What you can do is aid him. If you cast the same spell, you can aid him and make the check. Just make a spell attack roll. You need a 20 or higher.
All right. We gonna do this, Xander?
Let's do it.
All right, who's assisting?
I will be assisting Xander, and Xander will be doing the actual. So attack roll. I need to find my thingy there. Where the hell did it go?
Total of 22, it looks like.
22 from Xander.
Wait, it's 22 from Xander.
And mine's plus 12, so that's going to be 28.
Okay, so Xander, yours doesn't count yet. So with a 28, you give just a bonus of +1 to Xander. Xander, you need to roll now with a bonus of +1 on top of that.
Okay, so so make the roll, and I get a +1 with it.
Yes.
Checkerino, 23.
Same exact roll that you did.
And unbeknownst, the side effect of that spell was switching everyone into each other's bodies, like Freaky Friday on Twitch.
We need to back out of it.
Because
we need to switch the.
Oh no!
All right, let's fix our video.
Jeremy.
Hang on. I'm trying.
Okay.
There we go. People are coming back in.
Yeah.
Okay. The dispel the video connection for a second. With a 22, Xander, you both cast your dispel magic. You see it starts to clarify. You can see some actual tearing opening in this field, and you have an open, and then it snaps back into place. You feel as though you need more magical hands.
You know what? Hang on just a second. Xander will run back up and run over to the servants' quarters to get Gabe.
All right, you run over there and you see Gabe is face down next to his bowl of porridge, snoring.
This is totally old hat for Xander. Gabe!
What?
Gabe!
Who? How? What? Oh,
Gabe!
yes. Oh, I will get right on it. Why don't you fetch me some slippers and I'll teach you some magic later, little
Gabe,
bear.
you did it! You did it!
I did. I told you I would.
I knew you could do it! You discovered how to open it! I just need your help to try it one last time and it's gonna happen!
All right. Just one question.
Yes!
What are we talking about?
You're always such a kidder! Come on, we gotta go!
Okay. He follows you and looks confused, brings his bowl of porridge as he eats. Jix, you come out from your deep slumber and swear you just saw Gabe the Wizard leave and you're not sure what you saw.
What? No.
And Sildren, you see Gabe is being brought down by Xander. The three of you are at the bottom of the stairs. And Gabe says, "Oh, yes, I've been working on this all day and night. So tired."
Yes! So this is what you told me right before you fell asleep into your porridge, that all you needed was 2 extra hands to support, and then we could bring the whole thing down together.
Yes. Yes, I think that just might do it. Do you remember your dispelling magic, Xander?
I do!
Then aid me. And he starts casting and pulling and trying to move
As
this.
they start, I will cast guidance on both of them because I don't have dispel magic, but I can give them both guidance.
All right, you give them both the guidance, which gives them a +1 to the next roll immediately, type of a thing.
Yep.
Xander, are you able to cast another dispel magic?
I am. And I giga! Nope, not with a 2. I'm gonna use that really nifty hero point that I just got. Agaga! For a 17, 18 with the +1.
With an 18, you end up providing no help whatsoever to Gabe the Wizard.
Dang it!
He will get his +1, and he gets a 45, and he
Holy
pulls,
crap.
he pulls apart and shreds it and says, there we go. I think we got it. Just needed a little bit of guidance. Yes.
We loosened it up for you.
He pulls it apart, and there's just a little ridge around the doorway of this golden barrier, and he stands back, and it quivers, but it doesn't collapse back in on itself. He says, yes, I think it's holding. Now we just got to make sure that strange thing walking around inside doesn't get us.
What?
And he says, yes, somewhere in the darkness there last night, I saw a strange figure. I called out, but it didn't answer. It looked menacing. It looked tall, super tall. I'm so very tired. So many spell slots gone.
Sildren's gone. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sildren's the dungeon with his dark vision.
Peering in, as well.
You peer in, you can see some walls, some crates, some barrels. You can see this strange gear device. It's almost like those the triple gyro things from Contact, where it's going this way and then this way and then this way. And it's just cogs all moving around within each other. It's very slow, and you feel a sense of slowness as once the barrier's gone down. Things seem a little slow. You seem a little hesitant to act a little bit, but you don't see any figure, but you can't see the entire space. But what you can hear is behind you you got it open. And a servant comes down with some big carrier to go get some food out of there and walks right on past you all.
You should, okay.
Right on by. And he walks to the side. He opens up a crate. He gets some apples out and he closes it. And he walks over to a dark corner where you can't see him.
Look out for that!
I got some. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
These apples are so bitter.
really happened?
That really happened.
Oh,
We need the others.
yeah.
The others.
Is Gabe back asleep, or is he just kind of hanging out?
He's hiding behind you, Xander.
Okay.
What just happened?
You know what we should do? We should go warn everybody else to knock him down here. Will you go help me with that, Gabe?
Yes, of course. Let's leave. You watch this door.
I'll
Don't
watch
let
the
anyone
door.
else go in.
Not
Pointing to
even
Sylvan.
once.
Sildren will activate his bracelet of dashing and will start basically just plowing through to try to
Help.
get to help. Mostly looking for Iggy and his maul.
Okay. So
the
Sildren activates it.
ongoing?
What's that?
Is the screaming ongoing?
No,
Or did it cease?
It ceased.
Okay.
But
Ignal found a half a bowl of porridge and is gnawing that down.
What are we doing?
tastes a little like Bengay for some reason.
Yeah. Little drool.
And you see Sildren coming like a flash to the door to the servant's house. What do you say, Sildren?
Get your maul. There's trouble.
What have you done now?
And then Sildren just turns and
Just
runs.
gone. There's just Wile E. Coyote dust stuff. Jix, you're also there, and you guys suit up, I suppose.
Hey, yeah.
All right, Brenros, you hear this blood-curdling cry.
Well, considering that performance, I go find my armor.
Okay. You find your armor, you start donning your armor, and then Lady Talmaldren turns over and says, "What was that?"
Oh, it's just business. And Idrisyl gets up from the table.
I thought it was still with Brenros. Never mind. I was confused.
No. And she watches Idrisyl head out, and the groups gathers after several minutes and find yourself at the stairs where Sildren and Xander, and you see Gabe there, of all people, are gathered, and Sildren and Xander relay some sort of information.
Gabe here brought a magical barrier down. A servant went in, screamed. That's what we know. We
That
tried
was
to
so
stop
short.
him.
He didn't talk about the details. He was wearing red slippers.
And why did we feel the need to bring down a magic barrier?
Oh,
You have to ask Gabe. No idea.
I was asked to by the lady.
Brenros starts doing a head count. No one here is missing. Where'd the screaming come from?
Was a servant that went to retrieve something from in there.
it was
And there's-
poor Neek, Keen's twin brother.
Is he still
Morning.
alive? And Brenros will step forward into the darkness. It is a little dark.
Ignal will be right on your heels.
All right. You step inside and you approach this strange machine, and it's very slowly just making this kind of metal grinding like noise. And you find yourself a little sluggish, feeling not sleepy, but just as though things are a little slow.
Considering that there was screaming and threat involved, there is a shield that is raised right
All right.
now. And I start
Sildren
wandering
actually
the
have sword and shield out.
Okay.
corners of the room here. I need more light. I can't see very well in here.
And Sildren will cast his light.
All right. You can see there are some crates. There's shelving, this strange device, and then there's this hidden side, darker side, where Brenros is going around one corner and Iggy is going around the other. And as you guys come around the darkness, you can hear some more grinding metal sounds and some thudding. Doom, doom. And as you come around the corner, Sir Brenros, you can see there are some lights on in this basement, and just in the bit of the light, you can see a strange mechanical automaton made of cogs and gears that are very bronzy and goldish in color. It looks quite threatening, and it stops as it sees you. You are peeking out over your shield, and it comes charging right at you, and we have a combat going on.
Do we do we have to?
Yes. I've got the map shared right now. I am sharing it in just a second with our viewing audience. Let me bring this over.
If I get bashed into oblivion here, I want to go crashing through the crates behind me, very cinematic like.
All right. Bringing up the map. Zooming out the map. Zooming in the map. Zooming out the map. Bringing the map over. All right, and then going to our battle map view for the video. There we go. All right, what we have here is this strange gear guardian-like creature who should now be visible on your screen.
Really that much bigger.
He is that much bigger. He just is barely, he's kind of even hunkered down underneath the ceiling of it, and he starts charging north, the north side where Sir Brenros is, and as he does that, you feel again this kind of wave of slowness, and I need each and every one of you to make a fortitude saving throw of just 19 or higher, and let me know if you fail.
Who's in or just made it?
Burn up.
I'm gonna burn my last hero point.
What was the save number?
19 or higher.
19.
13 for Sildren.
All right, Sildren's the only one who failed.
Awesome.
All right, Sildren, you are slowed 1, which means you lose one of your 3 actions until further notice. Iggy, you are up first. You're kind of coming around the southern section of the split in the walls, and you see this giant thing of gears racing away from you.
Does this look at all similar to the gear monster we fought in Mirskon in the rug play? I don't remember the name of it.
Weaves of the World.
Yes.
Weaves of the World, yeah.
No, this does not look like that at all. This looks less mechanic. It's still mechanical, but it looks less manufactured and much more impressive, more magic behind it, if that makes any sense.
Yep. I'm gonna try to intimidate it.
All right. You just raise an eyebrow at it?
With a 16.
A 16? It ignores you entirely.
Of course it does, and then I'll sudden charge it.
All right. You can absolutely get there, and you're sudden charging, and you're racing out with your maul, and you get a free strike.
A total of 30?
With a 30, you connect and hit it from behind.
There you go.
14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. You hit. It doesn't do anywhere near the amount of damage you were expecting, but you did do some dings and dents on this crazy automaton. Brenros.
Will advance and strike.
Brenros, are you at drain 4?
No, I just
Drain
changed him
3.
to drain 3.
Copy.
It's still nasty, but there you go. And getting to where I need to be.
Brenros moves in and swings his sword.
With a flanking bonus, perhaps?
Yes.
Oh.
Nice.
That is a 23 to hit.
23. It just blocks your blow with its arm, and you have 1 action left.
Whoa. All right. That is to raise my shield.
Okay. The Gear Protector, as its name, goes next, and with that 1 blocked arm, another big fist of cog and metal comes slamming down at you, Brenros, with a 26 to hit.
That will connect but do nothing.
Oh, misses! With its second attack, it's a 23 to hit.
That will not make any contact.
Wow. And then it's going to make 1 more attack. Yeah, 1 more. 16 to hit.
No.
Okay. It swings and it's just battering and hammering the shield, but nothing at all is going through. And Jix, you are can't quite see this. You can hear the carnage, but you're on the other side of a section of walls.
Okay, so those are walls.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a gap in the middle of them.
I see that. Jix wants to maneuver to the gap in between the walls.
That's one action.
And then he's going to lob a quick lob a Tanglefoot bag. That's a 16.
Hey guys, I'll help you out.
And he throws a Tanglefoot bag for a 16.
All right, you end up bouncing it right off the wall inches away, and it just goes rolling across the floor and doing nothing.
Okay. Then Jix.
I love that banter. Ah, ooh.
Jix pulls out. Oh, what's he pull out? He pulls out a sickle. Says,
Okay.
Hold on.
Xander.
Xander wants to recall knowledge on the swirling gears.
Okay. Make an arcane roll.
Yeah. Oh, that was almost a 20. It's 25.
25. With this 25, and what we forgot to do, you detected this magic earlier, and I didn't describe the type of magic. You get that effect now, remember?
Oh, that's right. I do.
Yeah.
Right.
You believe this magic here on this device, this slow effect that it's emanating is secondary in nature to its purpose. As you kind of get an idea and look and just cast a little bit more detection on it with your first action, you detect that this is trying to alter the mood of people within this estate.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. That could go either way, depending on if it's not there anymore. Xander will take his last two actions and cast Flaming Sphere onto the gear present.
All right.
The mood changer.
That is a Flaming Sphere token. I'm dropping it on. It's never the right size. I like my flaming things to be bigger. Bring it over. And boom, you've dropped this giant flaming sphere and hit it, and there's fire that breaks out. There's flames, and you can see the device is kind of cranking around, and it's reacting poorly to it. Sildren, you were affected by it slow. You get a free roll again, a 19 or higher, and you can not be slowed.
Oh, great. Roll fortitude saving.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that'll be a 25.
All right, Xander has broken you free of that effect.
Nice.
And Sildren, you're up.
I will first. I'm going to travel 35 feet to the northwest, which I assume is a pierish.
You can get up to there.
All right, and then I will try to hit the. I'm going to hit the mechanism device thing with a ray of frost.
Okay.
So some heat and cold going on there.
Little fire, little ice.
Yep.
That sounded weirdly
Song of fire and ice. All right. And where the heck is it? There we go. Ray of frost. Total of 18 to hit.
All right. You do hit and roll your damage.
11.
That's not bad still for a cantrip. 3d4 plus 4.
Do I need to roll damage for the flaming sphere?
Yes, you do. I am tracking that.
Yeah. 14.
14. It's burning. I got it. Gabe,
And then where is Yathane?
Yathane is not present. You ran out, got people. Yeah, you had time to get her for sure. Yathane is there. She's back at the stairs.
All right, so she's gonna head around the gear mechanism. Is this does this the wall hit the ceiling?
Yes.
All right, then she's gonna go through here.
Okay. All right, Gabe is next. He says, I've got something for this. And he opens up a spell book. No, maybe. Oh, no, that would be bad. And he spends all 3 actions doing that. Idrisyl.
Judging by the layout of the room, Idrisyl will have drawn his short sword instead of his bow.
Okay.
So
let's assume that's out already.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave the gear. Well, I'm going to inspect the gear first. So I want to see if there's any mechanical on-off switch, like any physical way I can touch. Well, never mind. It's engulfed in fire, so never mind that.
Okay.
Instead, I just remembered.
He finds the plug in the wall.
It's on frozen fire right now. I'm gonna just instead move. Can I get to the creature?
With a move, you sure can.
Let me go northwest for the visual. I'm gonna leapfrog over Sildren and go, I'm still a frog! And I'm going to use my last action to just attack this thing.
All right, we'll do it in such a way that you are able to get a flanking bonus of +2 and go for it.
I did not hunt prey on the creature.
You want to do that as your last action or get an attack on it?
No, I'm gonna do the attack. I only have one of my swords in the inventory though, or in the actions tab. I only have the flurry, so
I'll okay.
Make sure you note that.
All right.
30, so it would actually be 29 to hit.
31 with a flanking bonus.
31 with my flanking bonus.
A 31 hits.
All right.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, 2 points of damage.
For 2 points of damage,
poke.
That may not be correct. Stand by. I might have good news. What? You bought this short sword.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a short sword of striking. Is that correct?
It is. So let me do a...
I can adjust it. So you actually get an additional die of damage. Re-roll that damage roll, please. Striking weapons have bonus damage.
Yes.
Oh,
there we go. 12
is a lot better than 2. You hit in there, and there's this big metal, and it just jars your hand, and you even look at your new magic sword and making sure it's not damaged, which it's not. But you didn't do as near as much damage as you were hoping, but you did connect. Idrisyl's done, and it is a new round. And Ignal, you can go.
I'm gonna just let out a roar and start raging, and then I'm gonna attack twice.
Okay. And you're no longer wounded too, is that right?
Correct. Total of 35.
With a 35, that is a hit.
Oh, yes!
22 points of damage.
Ooh, big hit. Big smash. The hammer just rings true and connects hard with the gear creature.
Did that hit feel better than my last hit?
It did.
Okay, thank you. I'll attack again with a 19.
With a 19 is a miss.
Yep. Okay.
Brenros.
All right. How do we always come across these things, Iggy?
It doesn't matter. We'll take care of it.
Do we have time for this?
No.
Nobody got time for this.
Brenros lashing out with his sword. A 29 to hit.
With a 29, you hit and connect.
All right.
More clanging.
17 points of damage.
Okay.
You guys are smashing a lot over there!
Second attack, bringing this out, is a 20 to hit.
Total of 20 is a miss.
Total of 20 is a miss.
Swing.
Trying to make sure I get this guy's attention. Shield is going back up.
Shields up. The gear creature goes next, and there are gears inside of it that start spinning faster as it gets some sort of magical power from the gear device, fuels it, and it seems to, the gear creature, the gear guardian, seems to be going faster, and it now gets 4 actions per turn.
Oh,
God.
And it is going to launch one of them at Brenros right now. with only a 38 to hit.
38 is a critical.
A massive fist of damage comes down and crashes into Sir Brenros, almost knocking him to the ground for a total of 51 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
What?
51. That will actually send me to unconsciousness.
And how? What?
Wait, what?
Brenros is drained 3.
Oh,
Brenros.
Oh, actually,
What was your max?
Sorry.
No, you should.
I got to remember I have a shield. Oh, let me quick do the math. You said 51?
Yes.
Okay, 51.
And you still have 68 current hit points, so you're still conscious.
Yes.
So, but anyways, yeah, you can use your shield for sure to absorb some of the damage.
All right, so let's see, 51.
The brand new shield from Solene takes its first big blow.
All the math. There's so much math.
While you do that, the creature turns around and attacks Iggy with an attack with a 34 on its second attack
That's a critical.
and smashes Iggy brutally for 53 points of bludgeoning damage.
Good lord.
I need both both Iggy and Sir Brenros to make fortitude saving throws as your wounds seem to be affected by time and seem to get old and festered, but then come back to normal. Make a fortitude saving throw.
Before that happens,
Yes.
I'm taking part of the damage off of Ignal. For that's going to take off 8 points of damage, I believe.
With your retributive strike ability.
Retributive strike, and then I will lash out and attack.
All right, so make your fortitude saving throws, both of you first.
Is this against a magical effect?
Yes.
Okay, so I get a +1 because of my call on Ancient Blood. Total of 20.
20. And Sir Brenros?
27.
You are both cursed with wounds. Make note of that as a condition. You don't know exactly what that means.
Oh,
It's not good, though.
It's not
with a
good.
27? Oh, no.
But with that, as Iggy, you get hit. Sir Brenros is able to block a bit of it and step in and interfere. And then Brenros, you get a free reaction attack on this creature outside of your own turn. Nice. Make the strike.
That is a 20. Does the flank still apply?
Yes, absolutely.
28.
28. You swing your sword valiantly and just miss the creature.
Oh,
28.
The creature still has 2 more attacks left. It strikes at Iggy one more time with, oh my god. This is its third attack, is a 33.
That is critical.
And Iggy is hit and bashed badly for 39 points of bludgeoning.
Good night.
Please stop getting hit.
Are you still standing?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Iggy's still standing. It has one attack left, and you just see awesome, sexy boy Idrisyl start to tremble a little bit as a fist comes his way for the 4th quickened attack. And that is a 31 to hit, Idrisyl.
that is a hit, not a critical.
Jesus.
That is 23 points of bludgeoning damage. I need you to make a fortitude saving throw versus the cursed wound effect.
Jeez.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You
Thank you, Lady T. And I give it a little kiss upstairs.
You resist the cursed effect, and the wound wasn't as bad as you thought. Heal 5 back of that wound just dealt to you as well. Nice. And next up is Jix.
Jix, just seeing all that happen, takes one action and puts his sickle away. Totally worth the burn the action to get rid of that
Wiener!
He's like, nope. Puts his sickle away and Second action, he's gonna quick lob. Where is my action? He's gonna quick lob. Great ball of fire at the guy. That's a 33.
33. I think you can pull off a good angle to not hit your friends. Fire splashes and hits the creature.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's 19 points of damage.
Woo!
19 points. The
Plus.
Yes?
Oh, no. That's with the splash. Yeah.
All right, 19 points of damage. The creature takes all of that fire damage. Doing some math. All right.
Yeah, bitches.
And then
Is there any persistent effect with this?
there will be. Yeah. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll get back to you on the persistent. And then he's gonna, since that worked so well, he's gonna try again.
All right.
Let's do another one of those.
He's not with a 2. He's gonna burn a hero point and try that again.
How about a 5?
14.
With a nope, that is a miss.
But the splash gets him.
Yeah, how much is the splash?
4.
4. I'll make note of that. He takes all of that. Let me do some combat tunage. And then what was the persistent damage?
Checking.
Okay. And then Xander.
Xander will maintain his flaming sphere on the gearbox.
And you're way back over the east at the stairs section, so you're safe there. And you maintain it. Roll your damage that automatically hits.
Yeah! Not very much. That's 10. 10 flaming damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to make it worse. And Xander will cast lightning bolts on the gearbox.
Go for roll damage. It cannot resist.
Hi-ya! 27!
With 27 shards of gears go flying out in that direction. You have destroyed the device. There is no slow effect happening or feeling to anyone at all, and the creature's gears that you're fighting kind of slow down as well as it loses its quicken bonus. There's one problem, though, that is a lot of gear-like shrapnel flying right towards poor Jix. Jix, make a reflex saving throw.
Good job. Ah!
Look out!
Reflex save. Where is that? That's right here.
Static charged.
20. Total
20. You take 13 points of piercing damage.
Hey!
Sorry!
I don't want to hear it.
Sildren will move to the west, still kind of staying back. Make sure he's within 30 feet of Iggy and cast at Iggy a level 3 heal. Not a haste, but a level 3 heal.
You hear as you cast the other wizard in your group from the stairwell, Gabe, say, "Don't heal the creature! Don't heal it!"
And I will heal Iggy as I was planning on. So the spring breeze crops up, and you only heal 32 points of damage.
It's better than nothing.
It's a rather weak.
I just
Rather weak
picture
heal.
a Febreze bottle when you say
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I'm picturing too. I'm just like, but one of those like industrial ones that just like goes like 30 feet. Use them at my work, but
Turn
And
to
then-
stream instead of spray.
and then Yathane will fly to melee range of the creature.
All right. And
That's it.
All right. Gabe goes next and goes, no, flipping through his book, and then says to Xander next to him at the stairwell, no acid. Don't do anything with acid, you fool.
No acid. Okay.
Idrisyl. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm going to hunt prey on the creature, I guess officially.
All right. Hold on, Jix. What was your persistent fire? Still haven't gotten that.
3.
3.
3. Okay. Go ahead.
And I will just attack on this guy.
Double attack with the sword for your second action.
That is a 34 to hit for the first. Or I guess it's not a 100 shot, so never mind.
But it is flank, so you're +2 to both.
Okay, so 36 for the first.
Hits.
Okay. And that is 5 damage.
You don't do any damage to the creature.
Oh.
Okay. I will.
And your second attack missed with a 27.
Okay, so I'm done.
No, you still. That's your double attack with one action. So you still have a third action to go.
Is that
Hunt
not
prey?
ranged only?
What is it? I don't
On
know.
a shot?
Oh yeah, that
Is
probably
it a
is.
shot?
What does it say in the text of the ability?
Sorry. Hunt prey, hunter's edge, flurry, hunted shots. Once per round, ranged weapon with reload.
There we go. Yeah, yep. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're done. Iggy!
I'm gonna just attack this thing until I fall over.
Trying to ring its bell.
A 31.
31 that connects. Chunks of metal fly off of it. Roll your damage.
21 points of damage.
21 is that much damage. It's not as much as you're hoping, but it is damage.
Are you raging?
I am. Plus,
okay.
because he got me, I have a +1 against him because he critted on me.
Very nice.
My second attack is a 15,
That's a miss.
and my last attack is a 10.
Bold 10 is a miss. Sir Brenrose, his shield still ringing from the big critical blow. It is your turn.
All right. The first thing to be done, a quick enchanting bit of words flow from his lips as he places a palm against his chest, healing himself. 18 with a lay on hands. And that happens. Then lashing out with an attack on the creature. But quickly stops to say, "Are you sure we have this signal?"
Oh, we have it.
And with that finishes the strike. 33 to hit.
33 hits. Keep in mind, there are some people that are still all pre-wounded going into this battle. That'll really make dying easier. Well,
Thanks,
pretty much
Tom.
Iggy. Just Iggy.
Just keep in mind.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. You do a little bit of damage to the creature, and that's your first action? No, your second action. You have one left.
Second. Third is raising the shield, getting his attention.
Okay. With that, the creature stomps away and around the group.
I get an opportunity attack, I believe.
Yes. It goes running past, and Iggy lashes out. Oh, it's not that fast.
With a total of 20.
A total of 20. You swing, and you almost cleave into Sir Brenrose. You hit his shield, and he glares at you.
Sorry, sir.
The creature then stomps further east, and then stomps
never mind. I have disrupt
right
prey.
over to...
I have a disrupt prey. Can I also take a attack of opportunity here?
You can only do an attack of opportunity if you have hunted prey, which you have. So yes, you get a free attack. You got to make the attack.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. Natural 20.
Natural 20 is a critical hit.
Woo!
Can I just get a free critical real fast if you don't mind?
Ooh, okay. So that is 18 points of damage.
18. With that, all of that damage, we'll say, goes through. You found a weak little section in his gear motions, and you do full damage, no resistance on that. Okay, I'm doing the math. God, I hate having to do math on this. The creature.
Are you guys sure we have to leave this place?
The creature is stomping, full charging to the east, racing over towards Xander and Gabe, and is charging right at him, but it doesn't have its action, its extra bonus action, because it has lost the quickened, and it takes a little bit of fire damage, and it is going to try and get rid of that fire damage by rolling a 15 or higher, and it fails, continues to burn. Jess, you're up.
It made it all that way?
Yes, all 3 actions.
I'm guessing it has huge footsteps. Like a long stride.
Jix sees that it's gone from kind of his left around the wall to his right, and pulls out another great ball of fire and is going to do a hook shot, and he yells out to Xander and Gabe,
Don't move, guys.
Don't let it eat me!
as he does a hook shot with a great ball of fire towards the thing. Oh, 2. Let's use my last 0 point. I don't know how I had 3, but should have 0 now. There we go. Try that again.
Oh! Let's do a natural 1.
Make an attack roll anyways, Jix, as your flaming flame goes wide and might hit one of your friends.
Okay. That's a 29 to hit.
29 to hit, and then roll a 6-sided die. Odd, Jix, even, Gabe the wizard.
Oh my god!
Odd Xander, even Gabe. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Odd, Xander, even, Gabe.
And that's a 2.
Oh, Gabe!
So Gabe gets hit. Roll your damage as he is lit on fire. Ah, what? It's got flame. No, it's you.
14.
14 to
Wow.
Gabe the wizard. He has found the spell he wants to cast this turn.
That was only
Xander.
my first action.
Oh, that's your first action?
Yeah.
More to
Alright.
do.
Oh, God.
Jake says, oh shit.
I'm on fire!
Oh,
Goes another one. 16.
16. You're just randomly lobbing. You're just giggling, Jix, and just throwing things.
And he's out of those. And with a third action, he says,
Oh, Gabe, I heard you say acid.
and he throws a Heartburn Betty.
All right.
23.
23 misses.
Just
But
good.
it gets 2 splashing.
2
And he gets-
splash.
And it should get 4. It should got 8 splash from the 2 fireballs as well.
That still missed.
Yeah.
Okay, and that means Xander, you also took 4 splash
Ow!
from that hit. On top of that, you do acid splash. So you get a little bit of acid splash still to the cog creature, and that actually solidifies some of the metal sections, and it heals a bit.
When he
you
said
said
no
don't do
acid.
acid.
You fool!
Stop it!
You killed them all! Xander.
Xander is staring right up, and he's going to move the flaming sphere, and with one action, and maintain it right on top of Mr. Gear Guardian.
You can do that instantly. Shoom, it goes rolling instantly, and it has to make a reflex save, right?
Correcto.
For all or nothing damage. All or nothing. Here it is. Reflex save of only natural 1.
What?
It did not see that coming. Oh, I can't believe it rolled that.
There's 1. There's 2 for
Yeah.
25 fire damage.
Wow.
Nice.
Massive damn. You're rolling this ball up and down like some sort of massage tool on its back. It's melting away.
It's like it's like a pinball thing, and it's just like inside the gears.
So what I'm doing, I'm going to make it a little bit easier for him. I'm going to support it by casting Burning Hands at its heightened state.
All right.
So I'll be casting it as a 1, 2, 3 level spell.
Big spell.
Does it hurt you a little bit that you're not going to get any of us in the process?
It
Well,
feels
don't say
weird.
that just yet.
It feels a little weird, I'll be honest.
We're in a
Seems
wood
like a
basement.
waste,
I mean,
almost.
Gabe, can you move in front of me just a little bit?
True.
So he also has to make another reflex save for this one.
All right, let's see if I can do better than the natural 1.
I hope not.
Here he comes with a reflex save of 21.
22 was what he needed to
Son of a
make.
biscuit.
No! Heka! For another 18 points of flame damage.
18. Your fire is shredding this creature. Its smoke is rising. Chunks are dropping off. The whole thing is smoldering right now. You can see like some cool overheated blacksmith orange glow on some inner pieces. It's really bad.
Look what I did, Gabe!
Gabe is not looking at you. He is glaring across the basement at Jix. Sildren, you're up.
Seeing that the wizards seem to have the golem creature well in hand, I'm gonna cast a. I'm gonna Febreze.
Oh god.
I guess Iggy, who's more injured? Iggy still? Yeah. So level 2 heal will heal a total of 27 points of damage.
Look at you.
And then I'm going to send, is that 60 feet to Yathane? To the creature?
From
From
there
where
to
she
there,
is?
yes.
And then, so that will be one action, and then I didn't use my other action, so I'm able to utilize her, and she will attack. So she will attack with jaws and such, rolling a total
that was
of
so close to
20. Yeah. Probably a miss, I would imagine.
Yes, that is a miss.
Okay.
Next up is Gabe the Wizard. Gabe, eyeballing Jix still, sidesteps just a little bit, lines up on a spell and says, I've got this one, and casts an electrical lightning crackles around his fingers. He lashes out lightning. The creature, Yathane, and Jix need to make a reflex saving throw, please.
Yathane is 27.
23 for Jix.
23. Jix has failed. Yathane with a 20. No, I'm sorry. Jix has critically failed. Yathane has failed. The creature, did I roll the creature? The creature has critically failed. Whoa.
Whoa.
5 creatures.
That's interesting. All right. So who passed? Yathane passed. Lightning strikes the poor bird. Yathane takes 38 points of electrical damage.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Huge amounts of lightning just blast like a proton pack from Ghostbusters. He can barely control it. The lightning's going everywhere. Xander's ducking, trying to hold on to him. And lightning continues. It hits the creature and it hits Jix for double damage. So that, according to my math, is 76 points of electrical damage.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Goblin
killed
barbecue.
Jix.
No, it's only if you take.
Double your damage or double your full health points in one blow.
Double
Right.
your max, yes.
Yeah, double your max.
Okay. All right.
Jix is blasted across the basement like Marty McFly with electric guitar. The creature itself is zapped and hollowed out to its core. Gears go flying and it crumples to the ground in pieces, and Gabe has slain it.
Wow.
Wow!
That thing hit like a truck.
I don't know what that means, but I got it.
I'll go over and do battle medicine on Jix.
Yeah, I was gonna stabilize him, but
Gabe, you're amazing!
One question. Some of you were affected by cursed wounds.
Brenros and Iggy both were. Idrisyl got a nat 20 out of it.
You get 8 health points back, Tim.
8. All right, so okay. So I have 52 wounds.
And a wounded
Thank
one
you,
for your
thank you,
troubles.
though. I do appreciate it.
oh, you'll be fine.
So
I
what's
need- Yeah. We need to deal with this cursed wound situation. I need Sir Brenros and Iggy to make. I'm sorry. I need Sildren and Sir Brenros to make a spell attack roll, please. Sir Brenros, that is 6. That's 10. It's 10 plus 10 for you, Sir Brenros.
I also had that cursed with wounds.
Yeah,
Ignore.
you don't need to roll it. Sildren does.
Oh,
I'm just gonna-
10 plus 10.
Yeah, just make a d20 plus 10.
D20 plus 10. Okay.
And mine's plus 12. So.
Yeah, your normal spell attack. And Sildren, do it twice, please.
And I've got plus 10 is 19 for mine.
All right.
So a 16 and a 17.
All right. All 3 of your healing attempts in any way related to Brenros and Iggy have failed.
Oh,
So the lay on hands is spent, and the heal spells, I believe at least 1, maybe 2 were cast on Iggy.
2 on Iggy.
Both of those failed as the wounds refused to seal up and close.
So Sildren, seeing that, will go and use his natural medicine ability to try to figure out what's going on
All right.
with that. Gathering both, like, come. I'm like gathering both Brenrose and Iggy together and looking them over and trying to figure this out.
What is it?
You are not healing appropriately.
Xander wants to see that they're not healing. Will also attempt to go check magic, right? Do a magic check to see what's causing these wounds to stay.
All right. You detect there is some sort of magical necromancy curse upon their wounds, and make an arcane roll.
Okay. 32.
With a 32, that's pretty good. You are able to detect that they cannot regain health except by magic, and any attempt to heal them with magic, they need a DC 29 roll to get through the curse to actually heal them.
Oh my gosh, you guys! This is really bad!
Well, what can we do?
Gabe? Can you help?
Gabe
No,
is...
I'm not so eager to have Gabe help. I saw what he did to Jix.
He had it coming.
did you
It's
see
fine.
what Jix did to him?
I think
No,
I'm
I had
still
a
on
big
fire!
Stop, rock, and roll. Just stop, drop, and roll, Gabe.
Coming down the steps is Roderman, the main servant of the place, and he's like, what in the world has happened? Seeing all of this chaos, broken machine, broken crazy beast, dying Jix, bits of people, everyone looking stunned, and we need to take our break there, and we will be back in a couple minutes.
The order rises high in the east, and the queen calls the finest citizens to court. Will you be in attendance? Join and subscribe. Patreon.com/ingloriousbards. With all loyalty and respect, see you next week, citizen.
The chaos has subsided, and the servant is looking around stunned, waiting for an answer as to what caused this chaos.
Xander spins around and says, he did it! Gabe! The one that you hired, he was able to take care of the cursed box, which was hurting everyone's mood, and destroyed the monster!
I did! I did, yes! I totally did!
Yay, Gabe! Yay!
And what was this thing kicking at some of the gears and bits and pieces of the remnants of the statue?
I have no idea. My young apprentice could enlighten us.
Yes, I can tell you that that box right there was altering the mood of the house. It was a horrible magic. Not to mention it had a slow effect that was draining everyone's speed, probably to fuel up the Guardian, who was going extra fast at one point, I think.
Altering the mood to what?
I don't know. Maybe to make them more compliant? Or perhaps to make them less compliant?
It was the senator that brought the item that created this, apparently.
Roderman, the senator cursed Lady Talmaldren!
Well,
Whoa.
it's a pretty hefty accusation. Let's get some information first.
I just said
Come on.
this was a box that was altering moods!
Isn't he in the basement right now with us?
No, just the servant. Roderman
Oh.
is there.
And you just said that Roderman brought this thing here, and Gabe told me that he was sent here to take care of it because it was a gift that was brought in, but it had this big force field wall up. Isn't that right, Gabe?
What? Yes! I
See?
think.
Idrisyl will kind of
jumping to conclusions again.
Idrisyl will kind of step up. Brenros, I think we should have a word with Lady Talmaldren once again. Rodimer, will you show us the
Especially
way?
considering this machine and moods. And Brenros binds his arm as best he can, knowing that the wound doesn't heal, but just to keep the appearance of...
Sure.
I was looking at those wounds, but that's okay. You just go.
It's not healing. Look.
Look at my wounds.
Grabs Roderman's hand before they start to walk away. Hold on, and he spreads it apart and then takes out a little ruler and is measuring like from thumb to pinky, and it's like,
How many watermelons can you hold in this hand?
What are you talking about?
Just for science.
I've got to go speak with the lady, you silly
What
little
if I made
goblin.
a bomb the size of? Could you throw it?
He walks away,
I picture
taking...
Dick's just chasing him up the stairs with all his questions.
Did you know a human head weighs 8 pounds? All right,
You sign my card.
you guys are, Idrisyl and Sir Brenros are taken up the stairs as several guards, even one of the Navarran soldiers, come down the stairs to see what all the chaos and commotion is. The two of you, though, Idrisyl and Sir Brenros, are taken out to the backyard where a table and a breakfast has been set up. Lady Talmaldren and the senator are there, and she looks very concerned as you approach. What was all this? There's quite a commotion going on, I hear.
Idrisyl kind of waves his hair and sheathes his sword all fancily. It's just like, oh, don't worry about that, my lady. Sir Brenros and your wizard Gabe
Sir Brenros.
have just solved a huge problem for you down in the basement.
Well, what kind of problem was that?
Some loose mechanized creature wandering about. I'm more concerned about this questionable device that was down there. According to our wizards, it is designed to alter moods. How are you feeling?
Everybody's wondering.
Super good diplomacy.
She says, I'm feeling a little different. I'm feeling a little less joyous, perhaps. I'm very flustered by this. And Senator Nythor, who's sitting out there on the cold morning table, says, are you saying that there was some sort of trouble with the gift we brought?
Some sort of trouble.
Care you to elaborate? You saying it's displeasing in some way? Am I hearing you right?
What's more displeasing was the monstrosity that was down there that decided to engage us.
Oh, something trying to steal the device, perhaps?
I don't know. All I know is my arm hurts. And whatever that thing will have to be replaced at some point. Lady Talmaldren, are we going to have our discussion soon?
She says, I think that would be advisable. How about we take a short walk here around the garden? And she lets you take her arm, and you wince as you're arm in arm with your wounds, because she puts her arm through the festering wound.
Don't worry, that'll heal right.
I don't understand. No, you turn. No, go over. Go. Oh.
Foot blue.
And you're walking through the garden, and she...
Don't make a fist.
She says, this is very alarming. I spoke with your manservant, Idrisyl. We met each other this morning, and he spoke of some of your interactions with King Phaon, of all people. Is this true?
No, he lies.
Cut him down.
It is reassuring to hear his name on your lips. I was concerned that such a message would not get through to you.
I was friends with the Queen for quite some time before her passing, so I have a connection to the family. I am loosely related to the family line, and the last connected to the king's official duties still within the Senate order. Your manservant, the elf, said that Phaon is alive and well when he last saw him just several months ago, and that he is returning to the city. Is this also true?
It is. I too saw him with my eyes. He spoke with all of us and imparted wisdom, and I must say it was encouraging to see King Phaon.
And what did he say of me?
I know that he has put great faith in you as the steward of Miskon. I have heard that you have been somewhat quiet as of late, and I imagine the stresses of the office are quite significant, but he does have very high confidence in you. And the wolf is returning, and it is my hope to see him walk through those gates and into those Senate halls.
And then why have you come here to me? I sense there is something else prompting you to be here. Some sort of need.
Brenros draws in a little bit closer. The city as it is left to you is in pieces. The loyalties are scattered here and there. And they need a driving voice. And I fear that your voice is getting lost in the halls. You hold the sway and the vote of the king. It is my hope that you would come forward and announce such a thing. There are many who are coming forward even now and changing their minds and looking forward to his arrival. But you are very important in this.
Senator Nythor, who arrived recently as my guest, spoke out and said that I should pay no heed to these stories, to find out that now these new friends of mine, yourself and the elf, who are most persuasive, especially the elf, bring word that I believe in my heart is true, but you speak as though I have some sort of voice. I don't have words that I can bring. I can't even finish this damn sentence. I don't.
I ain't got the words.
Words good, no. I am no speaker. I'm no orator. I don't give speeches before the Senate. I merely pass my abstain vote to let their laws go through.
It is not a burden for you to share alone. As I had mentioned, the loyalties are torn. You have friends. If you could begin in a proceeding where you do speak out, you may not have done it before. But I truly believe with what I've heard that you could step forward and make your voice heard. Others could be behind you. Others could be with you when you do. Yours would not be the only voice in that hall.
Make a diplomacy roll +2. You have any hero points left?
Yes.
Come on.
A 21?
+2.
+2.
+2, 23.
With 23, okay. She says, I can't speak up in front of the Senate. That would be beyond awkward, beyond strange, and I think way overstepping my bounds. But I would not fail the husband of my old friend. I would not fail our king. I would be there for him. If any senators proposed something at all to help his return, and Senator Kethad, who gave me this glorious gift you destroyed today, which I'm most displeased about, if he had anything to say against some new law or ruling, I could, for the first time in 20 years, not abstain and perhaps allow something through that might benefit the king.
Then Brenros takes her hand, if she permits it.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a glimmer of hope for King Phaon. His trust in you is well placed. And even though I am an old knight, it does my heart good to see that things can change.
Then feel free to call upon me if my duties are needed in the Senate Hall. My only concern would be something drastic happening by Senator Cathod and him requesting my presence for an abstaining vote. And I would need to know what King Phaon would request if something like that were necessary. So, a messenger sent here. Let me know how I can help. My actions, I enjoy the finer things. I have no desire to get into some political, physical struggle. I have no desire to speak, but I do have my vote, and it is there for the king when needed.
Then I will take my leave with a glad heart.
Very well. And you two walk back, and Jix has something to say, yes.
I don't think, based on last night, I don't think it would be the first time in 20 years that she abstains. Just put out there.
All right.
Out there.
She returns back, and she has a conversation and says, I need a walk with you, sir. We need to have our own private talk. Please come with me, Senator Nythor. And she has no smile about her as Senator Nythor kind of confusedly takes her by the arm, and the two of them walk out into the garden. And you can just hear a slightly raised voice on hers disappearing out into the garden. And she is most displeased about what he brought. The rest of you guys are gathering around back in the basement. The soldiers there are picking through the debris. Jix, so you're conscious, I'm assuming, at some point? And you've gained the wounded condition. You are able to be healed because you were not attacked by the cursed wounds.
Right now I have 8 hit points.
8 hit points. You're fine. You're totally fine.
Doing fine.
Okay, so I will heal Jix several times here. I will use my healing gloves.
Ooh,
I
fancy
do
gloves.
have a question then.
Yes.
It has to do with the cyclic ability of the lay on hands and counteracting and trying to get a 29 as far as the difficulty check.
Yes.
Is that something that should even be attempted, or is it just too game breaking for what it's intended?
Yeah, let's say you get 1 attempt per person.
1 attempt per person. Okay.
All right, so that was 18 hit points for Jix. And then I'm going to, I guess, studying and trying to figure out what's going on with the cursed wounds with Iggy, spending some time with that to figure out how we can ultimately cure that.
All right, make a arcane or medicine, which for you is nature. So you can make an arcane or nature.
We'll do nature.
And then Brenros would like to...
Want a hero point, buddy?
I need one of my own, or can I use one right there if it's given to me with I rolled a 7?
We have to. I think we said you have to.
You have to have at least one of your own, and you can borrow a second one if you're rolling a natural one.
That's right. Yeah. So no, 21 total.
All right. With 21 total, you glean no additional information, staring and poking at Iggy's wounds. And Brenros, you had a question.
You're dead, son.
It has to do with Brenros recognizing any services provided that would remove curses.
Services provided that would remove curses. Yes, you are confident you could get some, with a small donation, a curse removed at the Church of Solene.
Back to Mirskon part 1. That is what I know. They do deal with curses on a daily basis.
Studying my own wounds, could I come up with anything?
Yeah, you can make a medicine roll or an arcane roll. Choose one.
23?
23, you glean no additional information. It is a mystery.
Okay. Back up, Iggy.
I'm right here.
Okay. Xander will also make a check.
All right. Xander just digs into the wound, starts prying it open and looking inside.
Can you feel that? Can you feel that?
Yeah, it hurts.
Okay, just wait. How about this part?
Yeah.
27.
27. Xander, you believe that this curse will linger no more than a day before it fades away.
Okay, so look at this. Right here. You see how it's green on that side, but purple on that? The oozy part that's on the purple, that's not going to do that for more than a day.
Okay, that's very helpful.
You're going to be fine.
Thank you.
My finger's a little stuck. Hey, hang on.
Here, well, here. Let's stop. There you go.
Okay. Oh.
Lick it clean.
Dix comes up to Xander's hand. Let me look at that. And then
Flex a little.
takes one of his vials and kind of like scoops it off his finger.
Oh, great.
Corks it off.
It does like the
puts it in his
slime.
pouch.
Like
What are you going to do with that, Gypsy? That's part of me.
I don't know yet. Maybe it'll be a little something special.
Since
Make a
we are all
clone.
gathered, it is important for you to know that Lady Talmaldren seems to be more supportive towards the king. She does not want to be more vocal than she already is unless it is necessary, but it may take some encouraging. But all hope is not lost. She is in favor, just reluctant.
Sounds like that's as much as we could have hoped for. That's everything that we meant to accomplish.
And she is concerned about the other senators. I'm not sure where Senator Grier sits. We haven't found anything more about him, but that's one encouraging part, if there's any fear to be had. All the same, we are here. Are we separating? There is much more to do.
Well, I will tell you. No, everyone go ahead.
No, Xander.
So here's my thoughts. Since we made it here, we were talking about the other two things to do, right? There was the chalice, of course, down in Servide, and then there's the banner. And through the banner, I think there's even Tabernary. What if half of us went to get the banner, the other half went to Servide, then we meet at Tabernary?
I'm fine with such an endeavor. But who goes with me on my quest? I fear I do not have the strength alone.
No, Mr. Frodo. Because there's good in the world.
Oh, there's one thing I can tell you, Sir Brenros. That the arm thing, if you look at the purple part on the other side from the green part, the oozing thing, that'll go away in like a day.
Jix is already right there at Sir Brenros's arm.
Exactly.
day, you
hold
say?
on.
A day would be
Brenros.
fine. I could live with this for a day.
Brenros,
So I will-
I know the banner is not your priority, but I do feel it is urgent. So I will go look for the banner, though I do not know the way.
Why is he talking so slow? And where's that wind coming from in his hair?
Come on, Iggy. This is your moment.
I do
And
know-
my mall. Who goes with me to retrieve this chalice?
I
Wherever
will
it may
accompany
lie.
you, Sir Brenrose. I feel the chalice is my quest as well now.
I do have an idea of where the banner is at. I will go north.
And what of you, Jix?
Jix, Xander.
This be like a schoolyard pick thing.
You got the two sickly, weak little kids.
Hey, Iggy, you remember that eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing you were doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run that by us again. Show me how that works.
Just don't want to go last.
Jix, I'm holding a number behind my hand.
Why do I care?
I think that I should go to Servide. I think I can help Brenrose, and I think I can help Sildren. They're a bunch of happy, healer, healthy people, but no one's got magic like me.
Well, then I better take care of Badge and Iggy.
I can't believe we're splitting up. I don't want to go.
Oh, it'll be all right. We'll see you soon.
Do you want to trade?
Oh, it's not too late?
Can we repick?
Oh my god.
Nope.
Sorry, decisions are made.
It's out of our hands now.
You have
Already got my itch powder out and ready to go.
Here,
Are you
Jix,
guys
get
head-
in my bag. It's very comfortable in there.
Are you
Yeah,
guys
I'm
heading out
gonna.
today?
Are we heading out today?
There is little time to lose.
We don't have time for this.
I don't have time for this.
We have our horses. This should be really fast.
I think, I think that's the only choice we have left unless... yeah, I can't really think of another reason to hang about here.
All right.
Whether
Travel.
trouble comes, then we meet in Tabernary afterwards.
And
See
if
you-
for some reason we can't meet in Tabernary, then we meet back at the Nexus.
Agreed.
It's a good plan.
You all have your keys?
Come on.
We all put them in the middle. Okay.
By our powers combined.
All right. So you guys get your gear. You
Hold
say,
up!
yes. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, okay, we haven't split up yet. Okay, carry on.
You get your gear. You say farewell to Lady Talmaldren, who has some sort of special isolated goodbye with Idrisyl for just a few minutes. And you guys gather your horses, and we have Brenrose, Sildren, and Xander, if I'm correct, mounting up their horses, getting their gear ready with their extra horses, and heading south after the last missing chalice from Sir Brenrose. And we have Idrisyl, Iggy, and Jix, no healers, heading north to retrieve the king's banner. And you had something, Sildren.
First thing I'm gonna do is give. Ooh, shit. I'm gonna give Xander. No, because none of you can use magic, you bastards, because Xander's coming with us. Never mind. I was gonna give away my staff, but instead,
I can
You have
use
a
a
staff?
spell.
the healing gloves, are they usable by anybody?
I don't.
I don't think they are.
No.
Or do you have to be able to have access to like primal?
We have Jix for some healing potions.
That is true.
Jix can make a look.
Yeah, but if somebody, one of you guys could use it, it would be more
Yeah.
helpful. So.
There is no requirement on the healing gloves. No restriction.
Then I will give those gloves to Idrisyl.
You don't think it'll make it easier, Sildren? I was just thinking about this before we were putting it together, that maybe you could go north to get the banner, and Jix could come south with us to go to Servide. That way, in case anyone gets hurt, you might be able to help them out and heal them up there, and then Jix and I can run together.
I don't like
Think we
the
would get
idea.
hurt?
I don't like the idea of not pursuing the chalice, but what you're saying does make sense.
I mean, Yothanek could come with us. It's not really...
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, there's enough of me to go around.
That means I will not have to travel with a goblin or a gnome. I'm game.
Did you hear that?
I mean, I love you guys, and
Sir Brenros, you
little
get
salt
Jix
on that
and
one.
Yay.
That's what Brenros does.
Feel like a babysitter in armor.
Sildren, as good as it would be to have you with us, I do think that the chalices are something that you've been mentioning more and more. You should see that quest out.
Renros mounts his horse as he feels this could go on.
I'm metagaming as hard as I can.
Go, we'll keep
this is
that.
true.
You're muted, okay?
I will travel south. That is indeed the right thing to do. And Jix,
Xana reaches up for a high five.
stay with them.
All right. Any parting words as the fellowship disbands?
Are you giving me those gloves?
Yes.
Okay. Are
That's
they in
it.
That was it. That was the touching moment.
What? Can I get them now?
Put them in the party sheet, yo.
I've said it before. I will always say it. You are some of the finest people that I have ever met in my travels, and I have crossed from one end of this great continent to the other. I've met nobles, and there are none more noble than all of you. So I look forward to completing this part of this quest in the Queen's honor. And you, as you go, you will remain safe in the King's honor. Godspeed to all of you. And Brenros will mount up.
So, oh yeah, go ahead, Iggy.
Thank you, Sir Brenros. Bring them back safely, and we will see you soon.
Brenros and Idrisyl will give them the Roman arm grip on their horses. Take care of yourself, old friend. I wish you nothing but loyalty and respect.
Utilizing his own
Onward.
words against him.
Yeah, I know.
Intimidation roll.
Brenros claps his shield and begins to trot away with Xander and Sildren.
All right. Brenros, gain a hero point to carry over into the next session.
Heck yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
And as the two groups depart the vineyard heading north and south, we will stop there for tonight. So thank you everyone for coming along the adventure. If you want to help support the show, check out patreon.com/ingloriousbard. Support's always appreciated. And we will see you next time.